Hello students, welcome to Physics Talk. In this video, I will discuss some expected questions for NEET 2021 on one-dimensional motion. So let's get started. Here is the first question. Consider the acceleration, velocity and displacement of a tennis ball as it falls to the ground and bounces back. Direction of which of these changes in the process? Option A, velocity only. Option B, displacement and velocity. Option C, acceleration, velocity and displacement. Option D, displacement and acceleration. Now, for a tennis ball, motion is given by, in this type of motion, velocity and displacement gets changed every instant, but acceleration is always acting vertically downward, which is gravitational constant and which is a constant. So the direction of acceleration does not change. So only displacement and velocity gets changed. So the correct option is option B. Next question. Acceleration of a particle changes when? Option A, direction of velocity changes. Option B, magnitude of velocity changes. Option C, both of above. Option D, speed changes. Now we have acceleration equals to rate of change of velocity, or in vector form, acceleration equals to dv by dt. Now when magnitude of velocity or direction of velocity changes, acceleration changes. So the correct option is both of the above. Next question. For a moving body at any instant of time, option A, if the body is not moving, the acceleration is necessarily zero. Option B, if the body is slowing, the retardation is negative. Option C, if the body is slowing, the distance is negative. Option D, if displacement, velocity and acceleration at that instant are known, we can find the displacement at any given time in future. Now for the first option, the body is not moving, the acceleration is necessarily zero. This option is incorrect, because for a body, when it projected vertically upward at the maximum height, its velocity becomes zero. So it is in the rest, but the acceleration acting on the body, so the body is not moving but the acceleration is necessarily not zero. So this option is not correct. For option B, the body is slowing, the retardation is negative. Retardation can never be negative. So when the body is slowing, the retardation is positive. So this all option is also incorrect. So the third option, if the body is slowing, the distance is negative. Distance can never be negative. Distance is always positive. So this option is also incorrect. Option D, if displacement, velocity and acceleration at that instant are known, we can find the displacement at any given time in future. So this is the correct option. Next question. If a particle moves with an acceleration, then which of the following can remain constant? Now we know acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. So when velocity changes, acceleration is produced, but speed is always constant. So the constant term is only the speed. So the correct option is option D. Next question. The coordinates of a moving particle at any time t are given by x equals to alpha t cube and y equals to beta t cube. The speed of the particle at time t is given by. Now x is given by alpha t cube. So velocity along x direction is given by dx by dt, which is 3 alpha t square. Now y is given by beta t cube. So velocity along y direction vy equals to dy by dt, which is 3 beta t square. Now the resultant velocity v equals to root over of vx square plus vy square, which gives root over of 3 alpha t square whole square plus 3 beta t square whole square, which gives 3t square root over of alpha square plus beta square. So the correct option is option B. Next question, if a car covers 2/5 of the total distance with speed v1 and 3/5 distance with speed v2, then the average speed is. Now we know average speed v average equals to total distance by total time. Now let us take the total distance of the path is x. Now 2/5 of x is covered with speed v1 and 3/5 of x distance covered with speed v2. Now we know time equals to distance by velocity. So for the first case, time is given by 2/5 of x by v1, and for the second case time is given by 3/5 of x by v2. So the average velocity is given by, here total distance is x and total time is t1 plus t2, which gives x by 2x by 5 v1 plus 3x by 5 v2, which gives 5 v1 v2 by 3 v1 plus 2 v2. So the average speed is given by 5 v1 v2 by 3 v1 plus 2 v2. So the correct option is option D. Next question, the velocity of a particle v is given by v equals to v0 plus gt plus ft square. If its position is x equals to 0 at t equals to 0, then its displacement after time t equals to 1 is given by. Now the particle have displacement x equals to 0 at t equals to 0, and its velocity is given by v0 plus gt plus ft square. Now we know velocity is the rate of change of displacement, so dx by dt is equals to v0 plus gt plus ft square. Now dx equals to v0 plus gt plus ft square into dt. Now we have to integrate this. 0 to x dx equals to 0 to t v0 plus gt plus ft square. At t equals to 0, displacement is also 0. So x is given by v0 t plus gt square by 2 plus ft cube by 3. So at t equals to 1 second, displacement is given by v0 plus g by 2 plus f by 3. So the correct option is option C. Next question, let A, B, C, D be points on a vertical line such that AB equals to BC equals to CD. If a body is released from position A, the times of descent through AB, BC and CD are in the ratio. Let us take AB equals to BC equals to CD equals to S. Now time taken to cover AB, which is given by T1, and time taken to cover BC is T2, and time taken to cover CD is T3. Now initial velocity is 0. For AB, S is given by half g T1 square, where T1 is equals to root over of 2s by g. For AC, total distance is 2s and time is t1 plus t2. So 2s is given by half g of t1 plus t2 whole square, where t1 plus t2 is equals to root over of 4s by g. Now t2 is equals to root over of 4s by g minus value of t1 is root over of 2s by g, which gives root over of 2s by g into root 2 minus of 1. Now for AD, total distance is 3s and time is t1 plus t2 plus t3. So 3s is given by half g t1 plus t2 plus t3 whole square. Here t1 plus t2 plus t3 is given by root over of 6s by g. Now t3 is equals to root over of 6s by g minus value of t1 plus t2 is root over of 4s by g. So root over of 2s by g into root 3 minus of root 2. So the ratio of t1 is to t2 equals to t3 is given by root over of 2s by g is to root over of 2s by g into root 2 minus 1 is to root over of 2s by g into root 3 minus root 2, which gives 1 is to root 2 minus 1 is to root 3 minus root 2. So the correct option is option B. Next question, a stone thrown upward with a speed u from the top of the tower reaches the ground with velocity 3u. The height of the tower is. Let us take the height of the tower is h. From here a ball is thrown vertically upward with speed u and it reaches the ground at speed 3u. So we have to find h. Now here u is upward, so it is negative, g is positive and final velocity v is 3u, which is positive. Now from the equation v square equals to u square plus 2gh, we have 3u square whole square equals to u square plus 2gh, which gives 9u square equals to u square plus 2gh, where h equals to 8u square by 2g, which gives 4u square by g. The height of the tower is given by option B, which is 4u square by g. Now you can find this result from another method, which is given by, let us take the height of the tower is h and the ball reach at a maximum height of h dash and the total height from the ground is given by capital H. Now the ball is thrown vertically upward with a speed u and the ball hit the ground with a velocity of 3u. Now maximum height reached by the ball is given by h dash equals to u square by 2g and the total height h is given by velocity final velocity square by 2g, which is 3u whole square by 2g equals to 9u square by 2g. So height of the tower is given by h minus of h dash, which is 9u square by 2g minus of u square by 2g, which gives 8u square by 2g, or h equals to 4u square by g, which gives the correct option. Next question, a particle moving along x-axis has acceleration f at time t, which is given by f equals to f0 into 1 minus t by capital T, where f0 and t are the constant. The particle at t equals to 0 has 0 velocity in the time interval between t equals to 0 and the instant when f equals to 0, the particle's velocity is. Now given that at t equals to 0 particle has the velocity equals to 0, Now acceleration f is given by f0 1 minus t by capital T. Now we have to find the time when acceleration is 0. So f, we put f equals to 0. Now f0 into 1 minus small t by capital T equals to 0. From this we have t equals to capital T. So the time when the acceleration is 0 is small t equals to capital T. Now we know f equals to rate of change of velocity, which is dv by dt, which equals to f0 into 1 minus small t by capital T. Now dv is given by f0 into 1 minus t by capital T into dt. Now to find the velocity of the particle, we have to integrate the value. So dv 0 to vx is equals to integration 0 to capital T f0 into 1 minus t by capital T into dt. Now we get vx equals to f0 t minus t square by 2 capital T with limit 0 to capital T, which gives f0 t minus t square by 2t, which gives half f0 into t. So the velocity of the particle is given by half f0 into t. So the correct option is option C. Next question: if a body starts from rest and moves with uniform acceleration, then distance covered by the body in t second is proportional to. Now here given that acceleration is constant, so a is constant, which is given by rate of change of velocity equals to dv by dt. Now dv by dt equals to constant, let us say it is k. Now dv equals to k into dt. Now integrating both sides, we get v equals to k into t. Now velocity is the rate of change of displacement, which is given by kt. So dx is given by kt dt. Now integrating both sides, we get the displacement. So x is given by half k t square. So x proportional to t square. So the displacement is proportional to t square. So the correct option is option B. Next question: a motor car moving with a uniform speed of 20 meter per second comes to stop on the application of brakes after traveling a distance 10 meter. Its acceleration is. Now here the initial velocity of the car is 20 meter per second and the stopping distance s is 10 meter. We have to find acceleration of the car, and the final velocity of the car is 0. Now from the equation v square equals to u square plus 2as, we have 0 equals to 20 square plus 2a into 10. So acceleration a is given by minus 20 square by 2 into 10, which gives minus 20 meter per second square. So the acceleration of the body is minus 20 meter per second square. So the correct option is option B. Next question: the acceleration of a moving body can be found from option A, area under velocity time graph, option B, area under distance time graph, option C, slope of the velocity time graph, option D, slope of the distance time graph. Now we know acceleration equals to rate of change of velocity. So if we draw a VT curve, the slope of the VT curve is given by dv by dt equals to tan theta, which gives the value of acceleration. So acceleration is found from slope of the velocity time graph. So the correct option is option C. Next question, the position x of a particle varies with time t as x equals to 6 plus 12t minus 2t square, where x is in meter and t is in second. The distance traveled by the particle in first 5 seconds. Now here x is given as 6 plus 12t minus 2t square. Now velocity is given by dx by dt, which gives 12 minus 4t. Now at t equals to 3 seconds, velocity becomes 0. Now we have to draw Vt graph to find the distance traveled by the particle in first 5 seconds. Now at t equals to 0, velocity is 12, and t equals to 3, velocity is 0, and t equals to 5 second, velocity is minus 8. Now we have to draw Vt graph. Now at t equals to 0, velocity is 12, and t equals to 3 second, velocity is 0, and t equals to 5 second, velocity is minus 8. So distance traveled by the particle is area under the Vt curve. So distance traveled in 5 seconds is equals to area under Vt curve, which gives the distance. So it is given by half into base into perpendicular plus half into base into perpendicular, which gives 18 plus 8 equals to 26 meter. So the distance traveled by the particle in first 5 seconds is 26 meter. So the correct option is option B. Next question, a particle moves a distance x in time t according to the equation x square equals to 1 plus t square. The acceleration of the body is, here the displacement is given by x square equals to 1 plus t square. Differentiating both sides with respect to time, we have 2x dx by dt equals to 2t. Now x dx by dt equals to t. Here dx by dt is equals to velocity, so xv equals to t. Now v equals to t by x. Again differentiating with respect to time, we have x dv by dt plus dx by dt into v equals to 1. Now dv by dt is acceleration, so xa plus v square is equals to 1. So xa equals to 1 minus v square, which gives 1 minus t square by x square, as velocity is t by x. So xa is equals to x square minus t square by x square. Now we have the equation of displacement is x square equals to 1 plus t square. So x square minus t square equals to 1. So we put the value of x square minus t square as 1. So it gives 1 by x square. So the acceleration is given by 1 by x cube. So the acceleration of the particle is 1 by x cube. The correct option is option A. Next question, from a top of a tower, a stone is thrown up. It reaches the ground in time t1, and a second stone is thrown down with the same speed, reaches the ground in time t2 second, and the third stone released from the rest reaches the ground in t3 second. Then which is the correct? Now let us take the height of the tower is h. For the first case, the ball is thrown vertically upward, and the time is taken by the ball is t1 to reach the ground. So here u is negative, so h is given by minus ut1 plus of half g t1 square. So h by t1 equals to minus u plus half g t1. This is equation 1. Now for the second case, the ball is thrown vertically downward with the same speed u, and the time taken by the ball to reach the ground is t2. So when stone is thrown vertically downward from the top of the tower, h is given by u t2 plus half g t2 square. So here h by t2 equals to u plus half g t2, which is equation 2. Now adding equation 1 and equation 2, we have h by t1 plus h by t2 is equals to half g t1 plus t2. From here we have h t1 plus t2 by t1 into t2 is equals to half g t1 plus t2, which gives h equals to half g t1 t2. This is equation 3. Now for the third case, ball is just released from the height h. So here u is 0 and the time taken by the ball to reach the ground is t3. So here h equals to half g t3 square, which is equation 4. Now comparing 3 and 4, from 3 and 4 we have half g t3 square equals to half g t1 t2, as in equation 3 h equals to half g t1 t2. So we have t3 square equals to t1 t2 and t3 equals to root over of t1 t2. So the relation between t1 t2 and t3 is t3 equals to root over of t1 and t2. So the correct option is option B. Next question, a body is projected vertically upward. The times corresponding to height h while ascending and while descending are t1 and t2 respectively. Then the velocity of the projection is. Now for a body with projected vertically upward with initial speed u, the time of ascending is t1 and time of descending is t2 for a same height h. Now for vertically projection, the height h at any instant time t is given by h equals to ut minus of half g t square, which gives gt square minus 2ut plus 2h equals to 0. Now according to Siddhartha's law, we have t as minus b plus minus root over of b square minus 4ac by 2a, which gives 2u plus minus root over of 4u square minus 8gh by 2g, which gives u plus minus root over of u square minus 2gh by g. Now we have find the two values of time, where t1 is equals to u plus root over of u square minus 2gh by g and t2 equals to u minus root over of u square minus 2gh by g. Now t1 plus t2 is given by 2u by g. So here u is given by half g t1 plus t2. So initial velocity of the body is half g t1 plus t2. So the correct option is option B. From this problem we get interesting result. When we multiply t1 and t2, we have u square minus 2gh by g, which gives 2h. So here h is equals to half g t1 t2. It is a also important result to remember. Next question, a juggler keeps 5 balls going with one hand so that at any instant 4 balls are in the air, 1 ball in the hand. If each ball rises to a height of 20 meter, then the time for which the each ball stays in the hand is. Now time taken by the ball to reach a distance of h is given by root over of 2h by g. Now total time for ascending and descending is given by 2t, which is 2 root over of 2h by g. Now here number of balls n is equals to 5 and h is 20 meter. So here time for one ball in hand is given by t by n minus 1, as n minus 1 ball are in air when one ball in the hand, so which gives 2 root 2h by g by 5 minus 1, which gives 2 by 4 into root over of 2 into 20 by 10, which gives 1 second. So the correct option is 1 second. Next question, a police party is chasing a dacoit in a jeep which is moving at a constant speed v. The dacoit is on a motorcycle. When he is at distance x from the jeep, he accelerates from rest at a constant rate alpha. Which of the following relation is true if the police is able to catch the dacoit? Now here is the police car with constant speed v, and here is the dacoit with constant acceleration alpha and starting from rest. So the initial velocity is 0 and distance between the police and dacoit is x. Now if police is able to catch the dacoit after time t, then distance traveled by police is vt, which is greater equals to distance traveled by dacoit in time t, which is given by ut plus half alpha t square plus x. So here vt greater equals to x plus half alpha t square, as initial velocity of the dacoit is 0. Now which gives alpha by 2 t square minus vt plus x equals to or greater equals to 0. So from Siddharacharya's law we have t equals to v plus minus root over of v square minus 2 alpha x by alpha. Now t is given by t equals to v plus minus root over of v square minus 2 alpha x by alpha. Now for t to be real, v square minus 2 alpha x greater equals to 0. So v square greater equals to 2 alpha x. So v greater equals to root over of 2 alpha x. So when if police is able to catch the dacoit, then v square greater equals to 2 alpha x. So the correct option is option C. Next question, a body is thrown vertically upward with velocity u. The ratio of times at which it is at particular height h is 1:2. What is the maximum height reached by the body above the point of projection? Now here initial velocity of the ball is vertically upward and the velocity is u. Let us take the maximum height reached by the ball is capital H, and it takes to cover the same height h t1 for ascending and t2 for descending, and here given that t1 by t2 equals to half, so t2 equals to 2 t1. Now we have to find capital H in terms of small h. To do this problem we have remember two formulas as u equals to half g t1 plus t2 and h equals to half g t1 t2. Previously I proved this in problem 17. So from these formulas we have h equals to half g t1 and value of t2 is 2t1, so which gives g t1 square. It is given by equation 2 and it is given by equation 1. Now from equation 1, we have u equals to half g t1 and the value of t2 is 2t1, which gives 3g t1 by 2. So here t1 is equals to 2u by 3g. Now from 2 we have h equals to g into 2u by 3g whole square, which gives 4u square by 9g. So u square is given by 9gh by 4. Now for maximum height h is given by u square by 2g. Now putting the values of u square, we have 9gh by 4 into 1 by 2g, which gives 9h by 8. So the capital H is given by 9h by 8. So the maximum height covered by the ball is 9h by 8. So the correct option is option C. Next question, a body is dropped from a height h. If t1 and t2 be the times in covering first half and next half of the distances respectively, then the relation between t1 and t2 is. Now we know that if a ball dropped from height h, total time taken to reach the ground is given by root of r of 2h by g. Now if t1 be the time taken to reach first half of the distance and t2 for the rest half of the distance, then t1 is given by root of r of 2 into h by 2 by g, which gives root of r of h by g. So t2 is given by total time minus time taken to reach the first half of the distance, which gives root of r of 2h by g minus root of h by g, which gives root over h by g root 2 minus 1. Now t1 by t2 is equals to root over h by g by root over h by g into root 2 minus 1. So t1 by t2 is equals to 1 by root 2 minus 1. So t1 is equals to t2 by root 2 minus 1. So the correct option is option D. Next question, a bird flies to and fro between two cars which moves with velocity v1 and v2. If the speed of the bird is v3 is 10 meter per second and the initial distance of the separation between them is 2 km, then find the total distance covered by the bird till the cars meet. Now velocity of the first car is given by 20 meter per second and velocity of the second car is 30 meter per second. Now relative velocity of the car v relative equals to v1 minus of v2 equals to v1 plus v2, because they are opposite in direction. So the relative velocity is 20 plus 30 is equals to 50 meter per second. Now distance between the two cars is 2 km equals to 2000 meter. So time taken to meet the cars is d by v relative, which gives 2000 by 50 equals to 40 second. So in 40 seconds, the distance covered by the bird is given by S is equals to V3 into T, which gives 10 into 40 equals to 400 meter. So in 40 seconds, the bird travels a distance of 400 meter. So the right option is option C. Next question, the displacement time graph of two bodies A and B are shown in the figure. The ratio of velocity of A to velocity of B is. Now we know V is given by slope of displacement time graph, which is given by S by T equals to tan theta, where theta is the angle making with T axis. Now velocity of the first body VA is equals to tan 30 degree and velocity of the second body VB equals to tan 60 degree. So ratio of their velocity VA by VB is given by tan 30 by tan 60 degree, which gives 1 by root 3 by root 3, which gives 1 by 3. So the ratio of VA and VB is 1 by 3. So the correct option is option C. Next question, which of the following curves does not represent motion in one dimensional? Now we know in 1D motion the body can have only one value of velocity at a particular time, but for figure B at a particular time T we have two values of velocities, so it cannot be possible for 1D motion. So the correct option is option B. Next question, the given graph shows the variation of velocity with displacement. Which one of the graph given below correctly represents the variation of acceleration with displacement? Now we have to find Vx relation from this graph. For this given graph, intercept C is given by V0 and slope M is tan theta, which is given by minus V0 by x0, as here slope is negative. Now the equation is given by y equals to mx plus c, where y is v, slope is minus v0 by x0, x, and intercept is v0. So the relation between v and x is given by this equation. Now differentiating with respect to x, we have dv by dx is equals to minus v0 by x0. Now we take this as equation 1. Now acceleration A is given by v dv dx, which is given by, we putting the values of v from 1, v0 by x0 x plus v0, and putting the values of dv by dx is minus v0 by x0, which gives v0 square by x0 square into x minus v0 square by x0. So the relation between a and x is given by this equation, which is the form of y equals to mx minus c. So the correct graph should be option A. Next question, the velocity time graph of a body moving in a straight line is shown in the figure. The displacement and distance traveled by the body in 6 seconds are respectively. Now displacement is equal to the area under VT curve with proper sign. Now displacement is 2 into 4 for the first rectangle plus 2 into minus 2 for the second part and 2 into 2 for the third part. So this gives 8 minus 4 plus 4. This gives 8 meter. So the displacement is 8 meter. And distance is equal to total area under VT graph. So distance is total area total area under VT curve, which gives 2 into 4 plus mod of 2 into minus 2 plus 2 into 2, which gives 8 plus 4 plus 4, which gives 16 meter. So the displacement is 8 meter and distance is 16 meter. So the correct option is option A. Next question, in the given VT graph, the distance traveled by the body in 5 seconds will be. Now we know distance traveled by the body is equals to total area under VT curve. Now in this problem, at t equals to 5 seconds, velocity is not given, so we have to find this first. Now how to find this? Let us take, it is the angle theta, and so that it is also the angle theta. So here tan theta is equals to perpendicular by base, which gives 20 by 1 is equals to perpendicular, which is given as x, by base, which is 1. So here x is 20 meter per second. So at t equals to 5 seconds, velocity is minus 20 meter per second. Now we have to find total area of the VT curve. Now distance is given by area of this part half into 20 into 2 plus area of this part is 20 into 2 plus area of this part is 20 into 1 plus area of this part is half into 20 into 1 plus area of this part mod of half 20 minus 20 into 1. So this gives distance is equals to 100 meter. So the correct option is option A. Next question, the displacement time graph of a moving particle is as shown in the figure. The instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative at the point. Now we know for a displacement time graph, the slope at any point or tangent at any point on displacement time graph gives instantaneous velocity. So for C point, slope is positive, so instantaneous velocity is positive. For D, slope is 0, so instantaneous velocity is 0. For E, slope is negative, so for E, instantaneous velocity is negative. So the particle is negative, the instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative at point E. So the correct option is option E. Next question, the graph shows the variation of velocity of a rocket with time. Then the maximum height attained by the rocket is. Now the maximum height attained by the rocket is given by area under the positive part of the VT curve, as it says the maximum height, so we take the positive part of the VT graph. So maximum height attained by the rocket is given by half into base 110 into height 1000, which gives 55000 meter, which is 55 kilometer. So the maximum height attained by the rocket is 55 kilometer. The correct option is option C. Next question, the figure shows the position time graph for a particle in one-dimensional motion. Which of the graphs in the figure represents the variation of velocity of the particle with time? Now we know velocity of the particle is the slope of xt graph. Slope of xt graph. Now for the given graph, for OP part, slope is positive and constant. So velocity is also positive and constant. For PQ part, slope is 0, so velocity is 0. For QR part, slope is negative but constant, so velocity is also negative and constant. So the correct option is option C. For the first part, velocity is constant, then 5 to 15 seconds velocity is 0, and then velocity is negative. So the correct option is option C. Next question, the velocity time plot is shown in the figure. Find the average speed in time interval t equals to 0 to t equals to 40 seconds during the period. Now at first we have to find total distance covered by the particle. So total distance by the particle is given by total area under VT curve. Here this time is 20 seconds. Now area of this part is given by half into 20 into 5 plus area of this part is equals to mod of half 20 into minus of 5. So it gives 50 plus 50 equals to 100 meter. Now we know average speed is given by total distance by total time. Here total distance is 100 meter and total time is 40 seconds. So average speed is given by 2.5 meter per second. So the correct option is option B. Next question, the velocity time graph of a body moving along a straight line is as follows. The displacement of the body in 5 seconds. Now we know displacement is given by area under VT graph with proper sign. Now area of this part is equals to half into 3 into 2 plus area of this part is half 1 into minus 2 plus area of this part is 1 into 1, which gives 3 minus 1 plus 1, which gives 3 meter. So the displacement of the particle is 3 meter. The correct option is option D. Next question, the graph to the right is a plot of position versus time graph for which labeled region is the velocity positive and the acceleration is negative. Now for particle A, slope is negative, so velocity is slope of xt graph is negative. For particle B, slope is negative, so V is negative. For C, slope is positive, so V is positive. For D also, slope is positive, so V is positive. But at point D, velocity is decreasing, so the acceleration is negative. But at point C, velocity is increasing, so acceleration is positive. So at point D, velocity is positive but acceleration is negative. So the point where the velocity is positive and acceleration is negative is given by option D. Next question, figure shows the position of a particle moving on the x-axis as a function of time. Choose the wrong statement. Now the particle come to rest at time t equals to 2 seconds, t equals to 4 seconds, t equals to 6 seconds and t equals to 8 seconds. In this point velocity is 0. So the first option, the particle has come to rest as 4 times. This is correct, as it comes at t equals to 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds and 8 seconds. So this option is correct. Now option B, the maximum speed is at t equals to 4 second. Now at t equals to 4 second, speed is 0 because the body is at rest, so the velocity cannot be maximum. So this option is wrong. So the correct option is option B. Now for option C, the average velocity is 0 for t equals to 2 to t equals to 6 second. Now for t equals to 2 to 6 second, we have to draw the slope from t2 to 6, where slope is 0, here slope is 0, so V average equals to also 0. So this is the correct statement. Last option, motion of the particle is non-uniformly accelerated. It is also a correct option. So the wrong statement is option B. Next question, which of the following velocity time graphs shows a realistic situation for body in motion? Now for a one-dimensional motion, we know that at a particular time velocity have only one values, but for graph A1 at a particular time velocity have different values. Also for graph C at a particular time velocity have different values. Now also for option D, at a particular time velocity have different values. So the realistic situation is option B.